HappyConsoleGamer, and today we're going to look at some game covers I just think are a bit dodgy or just a bit strange. This first one is The Monkey King for the Wii. Yeah, so what's wrong with this one? The cover art isn't terrible, but there's one thing bad about it. When you open the game up, you'll see why. I mean, this is some artwork from the actual game. Yes, these are what the characters in the game look like. Yes. Here's the cover. Do these look even like each other? Why didn't they just use the Japanese artwork like there was originally planned? It doesn't make any sense. Not the worst cover in the world. It's one of these stupid, let's Americanize the covers for no reason kind of games. And here's another. This one's a bit weird, but not that weird. It's Dragon Ball Evolution. Yeah, but most people didn't know this had a game. But yes, it did. Well, it's not the worst cover in the world. It's just like, it reminds me of an old 80s movie cover. It doesn't know the Japanese version. This cover, that guy's not on the cover at all. Everyone else to say. Yeah, I don't know why. It's not the worst cover in the world. It's pretty much the only Dragon Ball Z game I think you can play as Bulma in it, even though no one doesn't look like her. But in this universe, Roshi he has hair, so yeah, whatever. Rainbow Islands Evolution. This is another one of these crappy covers that don't explain much. I mean, if you didn't know anything like Rainbow Islands, what would you think it'd be about with this cover? You just got a bunch of palm trees and a bunch of rainbows and yeah. As the back of the screenshots in the back, very small and hard to see. In this one, he actually plays all things are band based for some reason. He plays people with trumpets and crap. Not a lot of kids should really like the rest of them. Weird, and yeah, this game is confusing and not like good. Here's another one with a really crappy cover. The PlayStation Network Collection. We've got the game Beats now. That's a music game, but by the cover it just looks like a bunch of scribbles and a word Beats. Floor, which actually doesn't look like that in game, but you're gonna make a better cover for it. But and Cypher Filter Combat Ops, which is by far the crappiest game on this thing because it was online only, and yes, there's no online service for it anymore, so you can't play it. So this is essentially just 2 single player games in a game you can't even play anymore. Useful! Yeah, and this is Mega Minis Volume 1. This cover's boring. I mean, what's going on in it? This is just a bunch of plastic army men, and it doesn't make any sense. There's the biggest fail about this weird thing. They've only released, I think, in Europe and Australia, these, but it's 5 of the PlayStation mini games, which also on the PS3 and the Vita, and it comes with a code to download them. So you basically get a spare copy of all 5. But here's where the thing gets stupid is. The disc itself only has 4 games on it. The other ones are download only. This would make perfect sense, but if you actually find these shopping and new now, the code's expired to get all of the extra copies, so you basically just afford this game. And it's not even a room error either of these things. Because the PSP is well haul more than this thing combined is probably under 500 MB. Yeah. And there's volume 3, and they made 3 volumes. I don't have volume 2 because I had all the games on it already. That's got different games then. I was wondering all the games we're going to pick, why they picked Ice Road Truckers. I don't know, it just seems like a very weird choice. Next we're going to the really most ugliest PSP covers. Blockers Portable Steambot Championship. Yeah, this seems a bit. Look at those faces. He's like dirt, and she's like, no, we're fire my lizard. Yeah, this is actually based off a game called Steambot Chronicles, but a spin-off made of an actual board game. This is what the characters actually look like on the actual box. Yeah. This is a game where you run around in mech-shaped cars and stuff. Yeah, and this is... And that's supposed to be the same people. Yeah, whoever played this, or drew that, I don't know if they've seen their characters or not, but they look an awful lot better in the original artwork than the drawn one, don't they? Also, I remember this game had really stupid controls. If I remember rightly. And the worst one of them all, dun, 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 Space Invaders Evolution. Yeah, this is really the cover they gave the game. They just quite literally got the thing off the side of the arcade Space Invaders capital. It's not any actual Space Invaders games. They just shoved it on the cover. I mean, it doesn't explain anything about what the game's about. Then you look at the back of the box. Yeah, it's just a bunch of text and some ever so tiny screenshots. So it does. And all them screenshots are actual CG. Yeah, they don't show any in-game screenshots of this game actually on the back. And actually that's a Japanese cover of the game. It's a bit better, but... Yeah, this is a weird game. It plays nothing like Space Invaders. And it's... Only some bizarre reason you have to use the game publisher's logo on it. Weird. This is by far one of the worst Space Invaders games they ever made. It doesn't play anything like Space Invaders. It's terribly poor looking. It looks like someone made it in their spare time. Don't ever bother with this game. It's crap. Yeah, it's by far one of the worst PSP games I own. Here's one of them. Now, the DS one was just a boring cover. It's not. The game itself isn't horrible. It's called Turn It Around. Yeah, there's lots of stickers on the front. Yeah, look at Turn It Around. It's just a stupid name for a game, isn't it? But it's kind of like a spinning game. It's a bit like WarioWare. Well, it was actually made before WarioWare. It was an arcade game. Oh yeah, there's a Wii port called Furu Park. Technically there's less games on it than this version. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, I know, and it's supposed to be a remake of it, but that's logic for you. But yeah, the cover doesn't say by me, does it? It's rubbish. And there's another one by Tato, Monster Bomber. Oh, and you look instruction book, yeah, you can see there's Master Shake on the cover there. Master Shake, the oil can. Well, that's what it looks like. Yeah, this is a very short game. And that's actually the Japanese cover of this game. Yeah, what on earth am I looking at there? I don't know. It's like some weird touchscreen like puzzle game crossed with Space Invaders. It's also an incredibly short game and there's not much to it. Yeah, I've definitely picked one if it's cheap. Yeah, not pay the price I paid for it. And last one, a European only game, Chronos Twin. The game that started out as a Game Boy Advance game, strangely enough. Oh, this cover's just kind of boring, and it's just a bunch of like Dragon Ball Z look-alike guys just standing there. This is a very hard game, very confusing game as well. Like two characters running around, and you actually got two screens. It was going to be a Game Boy Advance game, but thankfully got ported to the DS instead. You've got two screens, and you have to control two characters at once. So you only die in 3 hits. It's very hard. Also, I don't think it's ever released in America on actual cartridge, only on WiiWare. Probably because the DS version has artwork stolen from some Capcom games and Metroid. Yeah, I'm really not making that up. Another PSP one. Now this one isn't a bad cover, it's just one of these misleading covers called Popocolo and like it's a big giant dragon on the front firing a big laser beam out, but it doesn't really fit. Well, the artwork this is in the game. It doesn't really fit what kind of fit. There's a character design. It doesn't look like it fits with the game. But that's actually the cover of it. It's actually quite a fun RPG though. It's only English version of the game you can get, so yeah. Moving on to Mega Drive. Herzog Zwei. Now this cover isn't bad. It's not the cover I have a problem with this game. It's just the bizarre text blurb they put on the back is really weird. What's it? Eins, zwei, drei. In the murky dawn, the tyrant troops shuffled towards foxholes and tanks, taking battle position. They quickly check their equipment on log cannons. They hunker down, awaiting the cry, "Attack! Up, 2, 3, 4. On your order, rebel soldiers race to the war machines. Jet blast into dawn, afterburners running. Convoys rumble towards the advanced bases. Their single purpose, attack!" That doesn't explain a thing what you do in the actual game. Also, it sounds like a World War II game, when this is a game where you play as mechs that transform into spaceships. Yeah, I'd never really get what on earth that was about. Well, this one isn't that bad. So it's kind of lazy. It's just 2 random photographs of Terminator and Robocop. It's actually not a bad game though, and you know it's called Robocop vs Terminator. You can't play as a Terminator, you have to play as Robocop for the whole game. And you have to put cheat code in to edit its censors, otherwise it censors some out of the gore. I never understood that either. Oh yeah, and some of the women's outfits. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Especially even with that gore off, people explode into giant pools of blood. Well, apart from later on in the game, we fight Terminators when there's no blood at all, because, you know, Terminators don't bleed. And the robot skeletons. Alright. Now here's one, like, this cover actually isn't bad. It's Dragon's Fury. The only thing I've been weird about this cover I always thought is the best 3D pinball game. Well, the game's not 3D. It's all sprites. There's no 3D in this game, so that's technically a lie. Well, does this look 3D to you, really? I mean, it's a good pinball game, I must admit that, but it's just this woman's face. She's all like, duh, what am I looking at? She looks kind of a bit stoned, I don't know why, but... So, this game, lab in Japanese, got an American-made sequel. And this is the cover it has worldwide, and the name, Dragon's Revenge. Yeah, they just got the stoned looking woman, who doesn't look like the woman in the game actually at all, in the middle of pinball tape. Give her these, made her look even more high. Now she's staring at a giant ball and a dragon. Yeah, I don't really get this one. It's a stupid cover. It's so lazy, because quite at least you just got artwork from the previous cover and just redid it. And the last Mega Drive one, Crossfire. I like this cover for many reasons. Actually, I don't think this cover's bad. I think it's kind of hilarious. Most army covers, you have a big guy looking mean and hard. But this guy, no, you've got a guy who looks like he's wetting himself and crapping his pants on the front cover. And he's also got the scary, menacing name of Billy. Yes. And the back of the box, this is a weird one because it's got a box like a Japanese Mega Drive game. And so this is the only game this company actually published outside Japan. It's actually one of the 20 rarest games on the Genesis as well, supposedly. Also, look at the ridiculous dialogue, which is the only difference between the Japanese box and the American one. Crash them to pieces! Most exciting games! Crossfire is #1. Yeah, nice bit of English on the front box. Yeah, and the game is English as well. I didn't see that one coming from a mile off. And there's some changes in this game, and they're a bit weird as well. You know, like in pictures like some weird like Japanese photographs of some Bond villain in the Japanese version, but in the American version it looks like some ginger-haired card salesman's giving you orders. Yeah, weird. We've only got one PC game. We've got this really cheap one, which is so cheap it doesn't have an official age rating on it. Oh, Magic Marvels, and it's got some guy who's got a very smug looking face. But ogre looks like it's from the game Oblivion. I won't be surprised if these are just character models from the game Oblivion. And there he is again. Also, not in-game graphics, because these are the actual in-game graphics. Yeah, they're absolutely terrible. Also, this game, it says this game has an amazing system where you can skip levels. Well, yeah, it does have an amazing system where you can skip levels, but it's not really a skipping level thing. It's quite literally, they've shoved each part of the game into its own separate game. So basically, all this game is just a folder with levels in, which makes you wonder why it has a scoreboard system in the game. What's the point? Because every time you complete a level, you lose your score because they don't carry over. Pointless. And this is Soul Divide. It's actually a good game. Like, you play it on emulators and all that as well, but yeah, the Dragon Ball cover is just a bit rubbishy looking, isn't it? Unlike a lot of games by 505, official artwork from the game is shown on the back case with everything obscuring it. Why is that on the back of the case? It should be on the front of the case. 505, that's stupid though. And see, another one by 505. Tengai! Now, looking at this cover, you'd think, no, is this a samurai game where you have one round slash through them? No, it's not. It's special. It's a samurai version. Yep, and you see official artwork on the back again, obscured by all the screenshots. I really don't know what 505's obsession with that thing was. Yeah, it's weird. And now, this was not a bad cover. There's just some messed up things about this one. R-Type Final. It's a perfectly fine cover actually, but look closely. I don't know if you can see it on there, but you see that there's some like weird like splotches on the splotches look like coffee stains on the cover. That is not a glitch. That is not my copy. All copies of this game have these coffee stains on them. In Europe, yes, really. Also, there's also this quality thing on the back where it says the Bydo, even though in the game it's spelled B-Y-D-O, and they've spelled it wrong. Quality there, guys. Police 24/7. This is a weird one. This is a light gun game that you can play with a USB mouse on a webcam, strangely enough. But the only thing a bit weird about this cover in myself is the policeman's face. Because of the shading on it, it kind of looks like he's got insect eyes. Yeah, it's maybe just me, but yeah. Right, now I've got probably the unofficial game on the PS2. Max Play Classic Games Volume 1. Yeah, I'm going to do a review of this one later on someday, but yeah, just look at it. It looks nasty and cheap, doesn't it? Also bizarrely comes in a red case like no other PS2 game. Mega Man XR, this game's pretty notorious for that guy going birds to the ground, birds and... But the thing I don't confuse about the cover is it looks like Mega Man's in one eye. Looks like I forgot to draw his eye pupil in the other one. Also, even though Mega Man's on the front cover of the game, you have to play quite a bit of this game before you can even play as him. Quality work there, Capcom. And this one's blowout. Yeah, this is really hideously ugly cover. Look at this badly. It looks like some bored person made this on Gary's mod. It's like, yeah, that is the main character he plays. It's some ugly looking dude with a cigar in his mouth. Instead of this is only bizarrely enough, this was actually released on the Xbox 360 as well. On Games on Demand. Yeah, I have no clue why, but it was. Anyway, this is as close as you've got on the PS2 to Metroid anyway though. Metroid was worse looking character. Samurai Showdown 5. Now, this cover isn't bad. Now, it's not the cover that's a problem with this one. It's the actual case. Well, that looks okay. These are the screenshot. You can't see a thing that's going in there. Also, just read the ridiculous crap on it. Latest addition to that was right at the time. 5 multiplayer story. Doesn't exist in the actual game. Time is it? Doesn't exist in the actual game. Versus, well, yeah, of course that does. Practice, I don't think that does either. I think that might be. Gallery, no, there's no gallery mode in this game. Yeah, so it basically lies about 3 modes in the game that don't even exist. Also, there's instruction moves for the final boss, even though you can't play as him, and all these 3 characters which are not even in the game. Yeah, I'm not sure how they screwed that up so big, but yeah, about misleading advertising. This one's pretty well known. Mobile Light Force 2. Bizarrely enough, yeah, it does have the game in the case. Ignore the sticker. Yeah, this is actually Castle Shikigami, a very weird butchered version with wonky English, all the story removed. Bizarrely enough, they left the gallery in. Also, Mobile Light Force 1 is an entirely different game series, and has the exact same cover as this. Yeah, but it's not as bad as Castle, the sequel game, which at least has a real name, Castle Shikigami 2, War of the Worlds. Even though the real name of the game is just Castle Shikigami. Just look how terrible this is. You've got this badly CG man flying these bad looking. This is by far one of the most butchered ports in the world. Why is it butchered? They've done multiple. Actually, call it Tato's. What is a Tato game? So it's true. Well, this game is completely butchered. The console, the European version of it. Just like Mobile Light Force 2, all the cutscenes and story was removed. Now here's the thing: in the American version, it was voiced very badly though. It had these, but for some reason the European version removes all the cutscenes and story altogether. So basically, the game has no plot whatsoever. Why they did this, I do not know. There is Realm of the Dead. No, don't ever buy this game. Yeah, this game is bad. Yeah, this is a game in Japan. It's called Neverland Senki Zero. It's a very long game. It's got terrible. It's just rubbish. The gameplay is just rubbish. Also, yeah, it's pretty much the only actual 3D action game by an infamous company for making rubbish RPGs called Ideal Factory. Yeah, don't buy this game, it's crap. This is actually a good game. The problem is the cover sucks. It doesn't explain a thing what you do in the game. I mean, look at it. You just got a bunch of shadows of some aliens, and it's a shame because it's a good game, but you know, Capcom's never going to re-release this game in a million years. Ever. Yeah, there's about boxes much more interesting than the cover. Yeah, the Nemesis was in this game, and you can blow him up with a tank. It's a very weird game. He plays an alien to jump in people's bodies and to cause as much chaos as possible. That'd be kind of fun if it had a remade version online, but that's never ever going to happen. You know, because Capcom. Castlevania! Yeah, I think it's called Castlevania Lament of Innocence, anything else in the world, but, you know, in Europe, they just call it Castlevania and give it some really bad looking CG cover. Where's it get stupid? Instruction manual. The American cover. The back of the instruction manual. The Japanese cover. Which ponders the question, why couldn't they just use these covers for the European one? Why did they change the name just to Castlevania? That means there's like 4 games in Europe just called Castlevania. Only one of them which is actually called just Castlevania. Yeah, that's confusing, I know. Oh dear. This is just a really bland cover, isn't it? The Quest for Sleeping Beauty. This game is so bait. It's got some coins. Yeah, this is quite literally just Pac-Man. So basic, you don't even have a memory card feature. Yeah, it uses passwords, bizarrely enough. I'll probably do a video of this someday because it's quite funny. Guncom 2. No, this game is just bizarre. I'll open the instruction book so you can see the actual cover because it gives a better. I mean, photograph of woman. Yeah, that's normal. Then we've got this thing at the top. I mean, look at the badly photoshopped eyes on the thing. Yeah, that's quite literally a 3D model from the actual in-game. I have no clue why they did this, but they did so. Also, I love the back, some of the stuff written on the back of the box. Guncom 2. This game actually, Undead Samurai. Yeah, well, my favourite line in this box is classic Japanese style cinematics. Narrate the unfolding silence. The story in this game makes absolutely no sense. I mean, come on, one of the bosses is called Stink the Sword. Yes, really. This game is really Englishy and there's some terribly, laughably bad graphics. I mean, you've got skeletons that, when you fire them, make window shattering sound effects for some nonsensically stupid reason. Yeah, I don't really get it. Ghost Vibration. Yeah, that's a weird name for a game. You got some people like ghosts on the front. Yeah, and I guarantee you, this is by Artoon. who also made Blinks the Time Reaper and Vampire Rain. Yeah, some quality games there. Not this is a weird game. It's like an on rails game. Like you play as a ghost, regular looking anime like Ghostbusters like person. Yeah, it's a bit weird, and it was never released in America. Street Boys. Yeah, just look at Pricks Mini. I've never known what Pricks Mini meant, but just look at that cover. It's not very good, is it? Well, this is the cover makes no sense. Even the back of the box does this. Yeah, there's 4 different Street Boys in this game. Guess what? 2 of the so-called Street Boys are women. One of them's a schoolgirl. So yeah, the game's called Street Boys, even there's 2 females in the game. Yeah, it's kind of like Double Dragon, but 3D and slightly crappy. There's one that probably most people have never played, but Fairy Tail Fights. Probably the most goriest cover on the Xbox 360. It's also got a naked man on it, but there's some reason why it's lazy, why it's late when I'm putting in lazy. Look at the rabbits. Yeah, essentially it's just the same rabbit, dead rabbit twice. We just shrunk it down. That's just. Oh yeah, and it's on the same with the birds on the back of the case too. This game is kind of a bit of a mess. It ain't completely unplayable like some people say it is, but it could be better, that's for sure. I don't think many people played it. This has some interesting ideas. Well, it's a bit weird that one of the bosses is a platypus and then you fight later on as a dragon. A can of hat! Limited edition. Now, this isn't. The only thing I find weird is that they cut the character's head off. Why did they do that? I mean, you open the box up. Head's not cut off on the actual box of the game, which is the same as the normal edition, by the way. Also, the art book it comes with, and I don't know why I find it quite weird. Nothing, it doesn't look that normal or weird, but yeah, it's quite literally, as you can see, it's entirely in Japanese. Yeah, they just quite literally just shoved a Japanese art book in the game. Well, there's Etna from Disegea. Not really, it's Louisa Finisher, whatever. She has some inline skates, whatever. And probably the most dodgiest cover of the last of them all. Zombie attack. There's many reasons why this comes up. I mean, look at it. Yeah, it's a zombie, but guess what? There's no zombies in this game. The Chinese vampires, Kayonshis, which are not zombies. But it gets worse. Yeah, ignore the screenshots. Battle your way through each frightful zombie festival to rescue survivors from the wrath of the undead. Now, that's actually what you do in the actual game. But this is where it gets stupid. You see these text blurbs? They're from a different game. See how long you can last in survival mode, configured with an infinite number of... There is no such mode. Pick from a variety of weapons to semi-arc. Yeah, again, not really any extra weapons to my knowledge. Flies away a stunning variety of zombies of all shapes and all sizes. Well, I suppose that's kind of true, but there's no zombies in this game. Cut your way through 7 adrenaline-fueled levels fraught with danger and hair-raising graphics. Well, not really the graphics bit. A story of eroticism, violence and horror. Can you survive the zombies on... Yeah, that's what you mean. That last line is not... All those things are from a different game, at least by the same company, called Zombie Zone, which is also part of the on Shirobara series. For some bizarre reason, they put the blurb for this game on it, even though it's nothing related to it. Also, there's something else I must mention before I leave about this game. The story is complete. It's that quality, this game. They couldn't even... Also, the final boss of the game is a guy called Old Man, who's an old man. Wow, what the best name for final boss ever. Is the actual story of this game. I'll just read the first sentence out and you can see see if you can find what's wrong. The year 2500 DC, Hong Kong, Kowloon District, in an old abandoned building under repair, zombies leaving dead have unexpectedly appeared. Yeah, leaving dead. Also, this is probably the only game with zombie in a name where you fight a zombie throwing rice at them. Which proves that they're not zombies. I guess I didn't think anyone would know the real names like Koyonshi Panic, but obviously they thought people in Europe were stupid and not one of them was, so just renamed it Zombie Attack. Yeah, and that's enough of that. Thank you for watching.